A root toot 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 toot. A root toot 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 toot. A jigga jigga toot. A ticka ticka toot. Rawr. Yeah, side on my pink gang with my pinky ring. Something or the other is a lyrics main. Ticka ticka toot toot, ticka ticka toot. Root toot 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 toot. A root toot toot toot. A ticka ticka toot.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Let's just get right into this one. This episode was basically about the aftermath after is it aftermath or aftermath? It's too early to be starting this right now. Anyway, this is about the aftermath of what has happened between Anna and Amber versus Danny and antiperspirant. I'm joking. Arabella. So this is basically the aftermath of what has happened between them. You ask me, obviously we haven't seen everything because Yewande went home yesterday and they brought it on in today. But we only get to see 45 minutes, and in those 45 minutes, I feel like it was like almost just squashed or just pushed to the side too quickly, in my opinion. But again, they've probably been angry for like 2 days now, so fair enough. He's probably given them some time or whatever, and we only got to see a small portion of it. But yeah, for Anna and Amber stuck up for their friend. I feel like they did what any other genuine friend would do. So all those people that are like jumping on this hate train for Anna and Amber on Twitter for doing what any good friend would do if their friend had been put in that situation, you need to go. You need to go. There's no room for you here because I don't know what you're doing. Like, it's ridiculous to me that people are actually calling them like pathetic and mean and childish and all of this sort of thing, but nobody had this same energy for Arabella when she was going around being a passive-aggressive manipulator. Nobody had this same energy. Danny and Arabella, not to know why everyone's angry, like they're pretending like they don't understand why people are upset or angry. It's because Yewande'S scent hasn't even left the villa. Like, her scent has not even left the villa yet, and you're already lip-syncing Arabella. Like, do you guys have no decorum? You have no decorum, you have no scruples. And that's what has been shown to us. You know, strutting around like peacocks, acting like they're holier than thou, right, to take off the heat from them. They're trying to spin the blame onto Anna and Amber to make them look like they're overreacting and they're being childish because they know they're in the wrong. But they don't want to get that heat. They don't want to take that heat. Like, the only person that was rolling their eyes more than Arabella this episode was me. Like, honestly, it's bogus. It's bogus. Danny's going around and he keeps on talking about how the 21-year-old jumped out in Amber today. And I'm like, you're 21 as well, and the 21-year-old jumped out in you much earlier than it did, and 21-year-old in you jumped out when you were stringing Yewande along. Because he's used her as a security blanket, right? He's used her as a security blanket. He's led her on and then cast her aside when somebody better, in his opinion, has come through. Nobody would be that upset or that annoyed if they had just had some sort of, what's the word, awareness. They had some kind of awareness for everyone else that's around them. Like, he's all saying stuff like, oh, but how is she gonna know that I like her if I don't kiss her straight away, or I just stop kissing her because their friend is out of the villa just for them. If you guys are so mature, you'd be able to control yourselves. And the only reason why they were kissing so damn much up in the bed and around the villa was because Yewande'S gone and they have nothing left to talk about. The connection is now physical. Their connection is now physical. They have nothing left to talk about because Yewande'S gone, so all they do is kiss and lips each other. I've still yet to see this connection. Like, the only connection they've had is slagging off Yewande. And now that she's gone, what will you do? What will you talk about? Sounds like a bit of a sticky one if you ask me. Always is the first person to talk about maturity and how somebody's being childish, right? But you're doing the same thing. Was Miss Arabella not also being childish when she was walking around being a passive-aggressive manipulator? Like, you know what? I almost have to respect Arabella's grind, you know. I almost have to respect her grind because she came into the villa, knew what she wanted, knew that she could manipulate Danny because he's 21 years old and is not thinking with his head, if you know what I mean. So she knew that she could, like, easily just under control and a leash, and she did. So you know what? For that, I almost have to respect her. I almost have to respect her. Like, this is just goes to show how we know that Danny was never gonna pick Yewande from the beginning, because he just couldn't control himself. He couldn't. You can see he can barely. He's so giddy. He's like a little schoolgirl. Like, mate, you want my school uniform from secondary school? You can have it. It's like a little giddy schoolgirl. Because even after Tommy picked Molly May over Mora, he waited. He didn't kiss her that day, there and then. They either waited for the next day or the day after. You know, they weren't literally all over each other. And I feel like that's what Danny and Arabella should have done. And if they didn't want to do that, because let's bear in mind this is the show, if they didn't want to do that, they should have gone somewhere else and done that. Instead, you're trying to. I feel like part of the reason was to like get a reaction from everyone else, especially Amber. Why would you do that in front of everyone else if you're so, you know, aware of how other people make other people feel? Because she was there going, oh, tensions are high and people might feel uncomfortable because you're whispering. Tensions were still high, and you don't think people are going to feel uncomfortable with you kissing Danny when the bed is not even cold yet. You don't think tensions are going to be high, and yet you guys claim to be so mature. I hate to see it. Like, speaking of childishness, right? The way that Jordan was going in on Anna, if I was her, I wouldn't have it. I'd have to be like, wait, stand up. We're about to go rockers, because I would not have that if I was Anna. Like, the cheese, he was bare into it as well. Like, he'd been waiting to say it. He was like, he was like, that's childish, you know, it's bare childish. Like, he was doing it with vim. You see, I moved my chair. He was doing it with vim. He's like, bare childish, pathetic. The thing is, Anna couldn't have even said anything. If that was me, I would have been like, peace, I'm out. I would have faded into the background, because in front of everyone else, you know, instead of pulling her to the side, he was proper going in on her. My ears were burning from my own bed when I was watching that. I was cringing. I was literally like, and Anna, you're going to take this. You're going to take this. Jordan, you have to laugh, you know, you actually just have to laugh. If that was me, I feel like I would have pulled him up on it, but she didn't. But hey, her, you know, we move. People act differently in it. Maybe she didn't. I feel like she was burning at the time, but then she just left it. I don't know why, you know. What I'm hoping for as well, like that Tom, yeah, he's playing the game. He's doing the same thing that Danny was doing to Yewande. He's doing it to Mora. He's using her as a backup. And literally, it's so funny because Mora thinks that she's got him running circles, but in actual fact, he's gonna dump her as soon as the person that ticks all his boxes comes through that door. And you hate to see it, but that's the harsh fact. And to be honest, I'd feel more sorry for Mora if she hadn't been talking about some bye Felicia when Yewande'S going. Like, this is what annoys me. Like, I was starting to like her, and then she goes and does something like that. Like, can you not actually contain yourself and wait? And this is why those lot that were separated with Danny and Arabella, but all cut from the same cloth. What the producers need to do is either send in new people that are going to spin Arabella and Tom's head so that Mora and Danny can get their comeuppance, right? Or they need to bring on the vote so that we can vote them out. Vote somebody out. That's what I'm gonna need from the producers. Oh, I feel like this episode was aight. But again, how can the focus be on Yewande if she's not even in there? It just shows you the impact that she's had. And if you ask me, they need to do something that's gonna pick up the story, you know? You're gonna have to do something that's gonna pick up the story right now, because it's like, I feel like interest is seriously gonna die down after what has happened with Yewande, and unless they do something to pick it up. Because when I saw the preview for tomorrow's episode, I was like, boring. I was hoping to see someone strutting through the doors. That's what I was hoping for. I was hoping to see somebody strut through the doors, and it would be some new people that was gonna rock things up, you know. So I'm still gonna watch tomorrow's episode and see what happens, right? Because I'm going to wait for the first look as well, because there might be something interesting that happens in the first look. So I'm going to watch tomorrow's episode, check out the first look, see what happens. Hopefully the preview in tomorrow's episode brings some sort of juiciness. Because I'm not going to lie, the show hasn't been boring. And I know a lot of people are upset and I'm going to stop watching because of Yewande. But the show hasn't been boring, you know. They just need to keep on bringing stories that are going to engage us as an audience. Let me know what you guys thought about today's episode down in the comments below. And oh, I also filmed a video earlier today as well. Go and check that out for me as well, please. And please subscribe. I know nobody really cares, and it's a bit lame, but we're almost to double digits now. So yeah, let's subscribe to me if you're watching this. Please subscribe and leave a like and a nice comment if you will. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.